Okay, I want to show you how to use your TI 83 or 84 graphing calculator to help you find zeros of a function. So here's a question. It says find all the zeros of the function, and it gives us f of x equals 6x cubed minus 25x squared minus 29x plus 20. Now, the zeros mean the places where the graph hits zero, where it hits the x-axis, in other words. So we're going to use our TI 83 or 84 graphing calculator to find one whole number place where the graph hits the x-axis, called a zero. Turns out GeoGebra.org is easier, but on the exam, you can't go online, so you have to use your calculator. So here's what we do. I'm going to show you exactly on the calculator, but here's the steps. First off, you hit y equals at the top of your calculator and type in the function, hit enter. Hit the graph button at the top and look for a whole number place where the graph hits the x-axis. This is called a zero. So let's go through this. So first of all, I'm going to type in that function. So let me switch to my calculator. There it is. In fact, I can put it right here. I got it. So here's my calculator, and I'm going to turn it on first off. There we go. I'm hitting the on button. In fact, let me put it right here for you. And here, let me clear what I have on the screen. And in fact, I've already got it typed in there. Let me clear it so I can redo it for you. Okay. So, and I'll quit this and give you a key press history. All right, this will tell you exactly what I'm pressing. Here we go. All right, so the first thing we're going to press is there's the steps. First thing you do is you're going to hit Y. See it up here? Y equals at the very, very top of the calculator under the word stat plot. Hit Y equals, boom. I just hit that Y. Here's showing what I've hit. Hit the Y equals button. It says Y1 equals, and I'm going to type in this function right here, this 6x squared. So here we go. 6, and here's the X button. It's under the word link. It has an X, some Greek symbols. This is your X. Don't use these other X's. Use this X right here at the top, right underneath the word link. X. Now, how do you get third power? You do this up arrow button to the power 3. Here's the buttons I've pressed so far. Y equals 6x to the power 3. Okay, now my cursor's up here. So anything I type is going to go up there. I have to hit the right arrow to come down to the main line. Did you see that? It was up there in the power zone. Now your calculator might not do that. They're all a little different. Even the TI 83, 84s vary from one to the other. So I hit the right arrow to get back down on the main line. You might not have to do that. I don't know. And then minus 25x squared. So minus 25x. Now, again, I got to go squared. So I'm going to go to the power 2 squared. So again, see I'm up there? See if I type something like anything I type now is going to be up there in the power zone. I don't want up there in the power zone. I want to come back down to the main line and go minus 29x. So I have to go right arrow, and it comes down to the main line. Minus 29x plus 20. So I just hit Y equals the top, type in the function. Now hit enter. I'm going to hit this enter button down here in the lower right corner. Enter. There, it's got my function, it's got our function in Y1. Now I'm going to hit this graph, but step 2, hit the graph button right here. See, I'm on step 2. Hit the graph button. So I'll say, okay, I'm going to hit the graph button. Boom. It's going to graph the function. It's working. There it is. It just graph function. Notice this is some kind of function that goes up and down and back up. Notice it hits the x-axis in 3 places. Right here, right kind of in the middle, and then right over here. Do you see it? It went up, down, and then below the screen, and then back up. So our job, what we're trying to do on this problem, is find those 3 places where the graph hits the x-axis. Those are called zeros because at those points, the graph is at a height of 0. So again, the graph started. If you here, let me clear it and redo it. Watch the graph happen again. Oh, it just does it automatically, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's not gonna. All right. Well, anyway, so it goes up, and it went down, and it went back up. So it hit the x-axis right there, Hit it the x-axis right there, and hit the x-axis right here. Now, what I'm looking for, number 3 down here, look for a whole number place where the graph hits the x-axis. This is called a 0. That's what we're trying to find, all 3 points, but we're just going to use the calculator to find one of the points, and then the other 2 we'll find with other techniques, which I'll show you. Anyway, so we want to find a whole number place, like a whole number, like not a decimal, not a fraction. So look right here. Look at this first place. So the graph went up here, and hits right about there. Does that look like a whole number? No, it looks like it's negative. This is what, here's the center. Here's the origin right here, the center of the axis. And so that's 0, 0. And this is like -1, -2, -3, -4. So this point where it hits, it looks like it's not quite -1 or a little past -1, like -1.1 or something. It's not a whole number. I can't tell what it is. I'm not going to use it. I'm looking for a whole number. How about this second place? The graph went up, came back down. What about right here? No, that's like, I don't know, a half or something. It's not a whole number. What about the one out here? That one looks right on the money. See the numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, it's hitting the 5 dot right on the money because the 5 dot's not even there anymore. That must be 5. That must be x equals 5, right? If you see, how did I come up with it? Here's the origin, right in the center. Just count the dots to the right. 1 to the right, 2 to the right, 3 to the right, 4 to the right. 5 should be right there, but the graph's going right through it. There it is. That's a whole number place where the graph hits the x-axis. That's a 0. That's one of my answers. X equals 5 is one of the places where the graph hits the x-axis, one of the zeros, we call it, because the graph is at a height of 0 when it's over 5. Over 5, it's at a height of 0. The point is over 5 up 0, right there. So I'm going to use that one. The other 2, this one, which is -1 point something, and this other one, which is somewhere between 0 and 1, I don't know exactly what those are. Those are not whole numbers, but almost always your graph will go right through. In fact, all the ones I give you, the graph will go right through a whole number location. See this one again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goes right through that whole number location. So I go, oh, okay, that's my whole number. So then you use that, and then you do the steps that follow. So x equals 5, I'll type that in here. 5, whoops, not 4. 5 is our whole number 0. The graph hits the x-axis at x equals 5. So start with that one. That's one of the 3 answers. It's a 3rd degree. It's 3rd degree x cubed. So we're going to have 3 zeros. As you can tell, it hits the axis in 3 places. 1, 2, 3. How do you find the other 2 spots? Can you just guess? No, you have to actually use the steps which I'm about to show you to find the other 2. But you got to have one to start with from the calculator. So x equals 5. 5 is the first one. Use that one, and now we can find the other 2, which we can see here. It's like the other one's somewhere between 0 and 1, and this one's somewhere, little like -1.1 or something like that. We'll find out using other techniques, but for sure we'll start with x equals 5. So there we go.